As a first step, students had to select 2 classmates to work with on the project.
I want to remind you, here's your chance to not work with your friend and not hurt their feelings. If you have a special someone, a little heartthrob in this classroom, don't work with them either. It's a disaster.
After selecting teammates, each student signed an agreement detailing their individual responsibilities to the group.
How will we share our work and track our progress as a team? Maybe like a check-off sheet or something like that.
As the project progressed, teams designed, built, and tested various wing structures.
It's quite an improvement for us. Remember our first wing didn't even hold water?
Many people have an idea of engineering and science as being inaccessible, and it's like, oh no, I can't do that. I don't know how. It's too big. It requires too much math. When in fact, it's about diligence. It's about good observations. It's about good teamwork. And these are skills which anybody can do.
No serious signs of stress.
Each round of testing provided useful information for students.
We think our last one would have done better, but this one, it was lighter, so the efficiency is probably going to be higher.
And teachers.
I remember after the first round of testing, we said, well, it looks like we need to improve on quality control. And so we cut back the number of wings to be tested per group every round. We made a long list of variables we were going to control. We made a long list of data we need to make sure we collect. We figured out the importance of including a screen in the background so we could measure deflection more accurately. We learned the importance of going from videotape to still shots so we could quickly analyze the data, and so forth.
It's doing good, better than our last one.
So the second round was a much smoother test, and the third round even more so.
During the final round of testing, several local aeronautical engineers came to school to assist in analyzing the results.
Kind of looks like you failed this main section right here. In this
the data and observations from these tests would be included in a final presentation each team would give to these same engineers.
Right.
On presentation day, McComb assisted with wardrobe adjustments and coached his class on public speaking techniques.
Brian, you said that you had a suggestion?
Be positive about your other teammates. Don't try and bring somebody down because it just looks bad.
Armed with their test results and design files, the students set off to impress the engineers.
Our task for this project was to create a high-efficiency, low-weight wing that, when tested, would, it would show the values you'd want for a real wing.
Mm-hmm. You can see that the design started off as basically a pretty simple design.
Here's 2 of our wings. This one is just a shell.
These kids, the way they present themselves, they're articulate, they know what they're about, they know what they've learned, they've obviously been able to work together. Mm-hmm. And in a situation like this, for 9th graders to pull off something like that is absolutely remarkable.
And here's our data for our wings. This would be the first round, would be 1, 2, and 3. Then 4,
Anytime students get in front of adults, their performance usually gets a lot better because, like anyone else, they want to look good in front of an audience.
This is our final wing design that we made. It's already been tested.
The engineers' score on final presentations was just one of many factors that went into a student's grade for the class.
You remember the survey that you filled out? I had a chance to tabulate those results.
They were also graded on their efforts by their teammates. And on the last day of the semester, they had a chance to express their opinions about the value of the project, and they were overwhelmingly positive.
I was going to say that it's a lot better to learn something on your own than it is to have a teacher tell you it. Because if a teacher tells you it, you might remember it 2 weeks later, but if you learn it yourself, you're going to remember it for pretty much the rest of your life.
One of the best findings in educational research is reflection is equated with retention. That is, when you think about what you've done and you think about what you learned, it's much more likely to stay with you.
I'm glad that you didn't give us a lot of information because it kind of led us to having to think of stuff on our own. And, when someone teaches you something, there's this little part of you that's like, well, but maybe this could work better. So if you do it yourself, it's like you can prove to yourself what works and what doesn't.
As I look back on the project, in terms of teamwork, in terms of data collection, in terms of excitement about learning, gosh, they exceeded all expectations.
Slow.
To have a student say, I want to do another, is a rare and wonderful thing. Oh, no! Nice wing, fellas.
Did it slip off?
No, it just snapped.
Nicely done. Yeah.